Bonjour. Today we're going to have a quick lesson on l'accord des adjectifs, adjective agreement. So you may have noticed in our previous lesson about adjectives some changes in the spelling depending on whether we were describing a male or female. So a few adjectives that we learned in that lesson were français, américain, blond, et brun. So just to sort of give you a little explanation. Basically, in French, an adjective, which is a word that describes a noun, by the way, must agree. It has to show agreement, is how we phrase it in English when talking about it, with the noun that it describes. So, for those adjectives that I just mentioned, we add an E to them if we are describing a female or any feminine noun, because remember, all nouns in French are either masculine or feminine. So here I have some sentences about boys and girls. So, le garçon est blond. Le garçon est blond. So here I'm saying the boy is blonde. La fille est blonde. La fille est blonde. The girl is blonde. So notice that there's a slight difference in the pronunciation. When I add that E, I then hear the final consonant. I hear that final D. So here is blond, blonde. Le garçon est brun. Le garçon est brun. So in English, we typically use the word brunette to describe females, but here that's a good translation here. If we were going to make a sentence about a boy in English, we might say he has brown hair rather than saying he's a brunette, but basically that's what we're saying. Le garçon est brun, la fille est brune. La fille est brune. So notice how here I have brun and here I have brune. So that E does change the pronunciation. Le garçon est français. The boy is French. La fille est française. So hear how that E makes my S say have more of a Z sound. Française. Whereas here it's silent. Français. Le garçon est américain. Le garçon est américain. So he's American. La fille est américaine. La fille est américaine. So remember that we do not need to capitalize the nationalities here, French and American. So we also learned some adjectives that already end in E, such as énergique, timide, sociable, sympathique. So because they already end in E, you do not need to add an additional E to these words if you are describing a girl. So let's do a little practice. So for each of these sentences, I'd like you to choose the correct subject. So could this sentence be describing a female? Elle, she. Could these sentences be describing a male? Il or he. Or for a couple of them, they could possibly describe a male or a female because those adjectives normally end in E, just naturally. That's how they're spelled. So this might be a good time for you to pause and stop the video and just look at these for a moment and see if you can decide which ones are il or elle, or could they be both? All right, so pause for me. Take a look. All right, and now I'm going to show you the answers here. So we have elle est blonde. Elle est blonde. Elle est française. Elle est française. So both of those, blonde and French, don't naturally end in E. So we added E's to them, so they must be describing female subjects here. Il est américain. There's no E. So American, we know we have to be describing a male. All right, the word sociable here always ends in E, so it could be il est sociable or could be elle est sociable. So outgoing or friendly. Elle est petite. Elle est petite. Here we have petite with an E, and here we have it without. Il est petit. So you hear a slight difference in the pronunciation. Petite, petit. All right, here timide also always ends in E, just like sociable. So my sentence could be il est sociable or elle est sociable. And then here amusant, which I think we saw in the previous lesson, just means funny. Think of the word amusing in English. So il est amusant. There was no E there, so that must be describing a guy. So thanks for your attention and for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.